Okay guys, today in this class we're going to talk about directed numbers. So, numbers are said to be directed when a sign, a positive or a negative sign, is attached to them. Okay, so for instance, this number is a directed number. Okay, it shows the difference between this number and this other number. Alright, so there is something we call a number line. Okay, and on the number line, this is a number line. On a number line, we have numbers from 0 going to the right. They are positive numbers. Alright, so on and so forth. But going to the left, you're going to get negative numbers. And it keeps going, right? So this is what we call a number line. Okay, a number line is used to show the direction of a particular number, right? That's what it is, a number line as in number and line. Okay, so now in mathematics it is very important that you know how to do any operation involving number lines. So we are going to be talking about operations involving directed numbers. Okay, how do we add and subtract numbers when they are directed? Okay, so that's exactly what we want to do in this class. Okay, so and of course I also want you to know that sometimes numbers are written this way. Okay, just like 2, or let me say 4. Okay, this number standing on its own is actually still a directed number. In fact, all numbers are directed numbers. So this number standing on its own is a directed number, but the direction is what we may not really know. Okay, but now I want to take it from me that whenever you see a number standing alone, it has the positive direction. Okay, it is to the positive, it's to this other side. Okay, that it should be this plus 4 here and not this way. So once a number, let's say 5, is written, this number is positive. Okay, now if a number is otherwise, if it's not positive and it is negative, it must be indicated. Okay, nobody would write 5 to mean -5. Okay, alright, so now operation involving directed number. When we talk about operations, we're talking about addition, using all the operators, subtraction, and multiplication and division. So we are going to look at how to add directed numbers, how to subtract them, how to multiply, and how to divide them. Alright, so I'm going to erase this part of the board. I'll erase this part of the board. Okay, now actually directed numbers, it's simple. I'm going to bring up a little some examples. Okay, examples. Just say do the following, and we have, let's say here we have -2 plus. Okay, so we are dealing with the additions now. Okay, -2 plus 4. Okay, and we also have -3 plus -2. Okay, and then we also have this. Let's also have 4 plus -5, and let's also have -4. Okay, I have something like that here. Okay, what do I have again? Okay, so if there is any other, I will let you know as we proceed. Now if you look at this examples here, this thing gives a lot of problem to students. All right, minus 2 plus 4, minus 3 plus minus 2, 4 plus minus, and all those kind of things. All right. Okay. Okay, so here we have minus 2 plus 4. Excuse me. So this is going to become one way of actually getting a solution to this problem is by using the number line. Okay, using the number line. So we are going to have this on the number line. Here we have 0. Here we have minus 1. To the left is negative. To the right is positive, right? Okay. And you can keep going. And we have minus 2 plus 4. So this is where we have minus 2, okay, on the number line. So if we move 1, 2, 3, 4, we land at 2, okay? We land at 2. So that therefore simply means that minus 2 plus 4 equals 2. Now another way of looking at this problem is this. If you always look at positive as what you have and negative as what you don't have. If you look at this, if you look at it that way, let's say you positive as what you have, negative as what you owe. Now let's say you have 4 apples, and then you owe your brother or your sister 2 apples. Okay, I said the negative is what you owe, so that's why I'm saying you owe 2 apples and you have 4 apples. If you have to pay back the 2 apples that you owe, which you must do because every debt should be repaid. Now, if you do that, what would you be left with? You'll be left with what? 2 apples, and it's going to be positive. Of course, you see it comes to the positive side on the number line. Alright, so that's that. That's how simple manipulating these things are. Now, let's look at this second one where you have, I'm still going to use a number line and then the analytical way of doing it as well. So let's say this is 0. To the left you have minus 1, minus 2. Oh God. Minus 1, minus 2. We have minus 3. Okay. Let's keep going because we are going to need something this other way. Minus 4, minus 5, and let's say you have minus 6. Of course, to the right here you have 1, 2, 3. Okay, which you might find that it's not necessary for us. Okay, now let's say that you have minus 3. Okay, if you have minus 3 and you are adding minus 2, you have minus 3 and you are adding minus 2, okay, to it. This is plus. So you're going to have to move 1, 2. Okay, you see, in this case, I moved to the right in this first case because what I was adding was a positive number, minus 2 plus 4. The plus here is the operator. Then this 4 is standing on its own, but you know it's positive because any number standing on its own is positive. Good. Then this other case, I am moving to the left direction because I am adding a negative number. So I move 1, 2, and you see me landing at this point, minus 5. I am moving twice because this is 2. So this is simply going to be mean that minus 3 plus minus 2 equals minus 5. Okay, let's look at it another way. So let's say that you owe, okay, or remember I said that we should always look at the negative as what you owe, and then the positive as what you have. Good. So let's say you owe 3 apples. I'm using apples again. Let's say you owe 3 apples to your brother, and then you owe 2 apples to your sister. Both are negative, so they mean that what you owe. So minus 3 plus minus 2. These are you owe 3 here and you owe 2 here. So what will be the total of what you owe? The total of what you owe is just going to be what? Minus 5. Okay? It's going to be 5. Alright? And it's negative because it is what you owe. Alright? So that's it. instead of doing this, you can just think this way and then you arrive at your answer. Okay, you know the thing is that it's not every time you have a problem in math then you come start you start drawing the number line. No, it won't work that way for you. So all you just need to do is whenever you have a problem like this, think of what you owe and what you have. Now let's look at this other guy here. 4 plus minus 5. Alright, we have 4 plus minus 5. Okay, so look at it now. Okay, 4 plus. Alright, so I'm going to get 0 here. I'll get 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, hope you can see that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. So, and I have to the left side, I have minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. And then they said I should add minus 5 to it. Alright? They said I should add minus 5. That is like 4 plus minus 5. So what am I going to do? This is simply going to become, from 4, I'm going to be adding negative. So that means I'll be moving to the left direction. Just like what I did here. I add negative and I'm adding negative, so I move the leftward direction. So since I am going to be adding negative, I'm going to move in the leftward direction. I'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so 4 plus minus 5 simply gives me what? You can see I have minus 1 here. Alright, now let's also do it the other way. Okay, you have 4. 4 is what you have. 4 oranges, and then you're owing 5 oranges because negative means what you owe. You're owing 5 oranges. Now I'm using 4 oranges and 5 oranges because you cannot be adding or subtracting two unlike things. I cannot be subtracting apple from orange, right? That is just by the way. So you have 4 oranges and then you're owing 5 oranges. Now if that's the case and you want to pay, okay, back what you owe, okay, by the time you pay back 4 oranges, you're going to discover that you still be left with 1 orange to pay back, okay, to pay back your debt, okay, completely. So that's why you have this as minus 1. Okay, so that's how addition for number line usually work. It's that simple. Okay, having said that, we're going to look at another set of examples. Okay, so okay, so the problem on this board, as you can see, can also be solved with the same ideology that I have already established. Okay, so now look at it. We start with minus 2 and minus 4. We want to do this minus 2 minus 4. All you just need to do is we'll go to the number line. Let's say we have, let me take my 0 here because I'm going to do much of negative. So I have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, I have 1, 2, which may not be necessary. So from minus 2, I am subtracting, but you see this can be written as this whole expression, look at it here, minus 2 minus 4 can also be written as minus 2 plus minus 4. Okay, it can also be written in that format. Okay, so that means you are going to be adding minus 4, okay, to minus 2. So that means we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and that simply means that minus 2 minus 4 equals minus 6. Alright, so it's very clear here. Alright, so that's how you do it. Or you can also look at it another way, that you are owing 2 to someone and then you are owing 4 to another. So the total of what you owe is minus 6. Okay, so let's move over and see this other guy. Minus 3 minus 2. Okay, so we're going to also use the number line to work this out. Let me see how that works out. So you have minus 3. Okay, you have minus 3. There's something I need to tell you about this problem. Okay, because this problem is equivalent to minus 3 plus 2. Okay, it's equivalent to minus 3 plus 2 because you see this is in a bracket. This minus 2 is in a bracket. So this is like saying you have minus 1 outside the bracket. And of course, we cannot solve this problem with the bracket, so we have to clear the bracket. So you use this minus 1 to multiply the negative here, and you're going to get a positive. We are going to just look at that shortly. When we talk about multiplication of directed numbers. Okay, so now, having said this minus 3 minus into the bracket of minus 2 is same thing as minus 3 plus 2. So if I say I have 0 here and I have minus 1, I have minus 2, and I have minus 3. Okay, I have 1, I have 2. So if I'm moving, by now you should know the answer here already. If I move twice, I'm going to move to the right twice because this operator is positive. So I move 1 and 2. So that simply tells me that minus 3 minus minus 2 equals minus 1. Alright, so that's that. The same thing happens with this guy. Okay, I'm going to wipe this off now. The same thing happens to this guy. You see, 4 minus minus 5 is the same thing as 4 plus 5. Okay, I will not need to use the number line here because this is minus multiplying into the bracket. Minus times this minus will give you a plus, so that you get 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5, which is simply 9. Okay, you know what you're going to do is you're going to try and look out for problems like this and solve them. I also give you exercises. Also try and look at the multiplication, so that in case I'll give you the multiplication rules for directed numbers. Thank you.